And most of the people in my organization, you know, they got families. They got brothers, baby mamas, cousins and stuff. And they all work for University Hospital. And they work for the surrounding John Hopkins Hospital, the surrounding hospitals, and they work downtown and stuff. So they would be there when the cops would be setting up. Or they would be the person that the cop would be talking to, asking, can they surveil us? And where we get back. Or I would find out from the cops that we were paying.
Still, the police were awfully proud of the results they got from the surveillance. Breaking the code of sophisticated alphanumeric pager systems used by the dealers to communicate was a challenge. Contract killings, revenge killings, and plots against rivals raged throughout the projects, partially because in drug trafficking, sometimes dealers had to kill or be killed. Taking a rival out before he took you out was just part of survival. Sometimes the method of execution was reminiscent of what drug dealers saw in James Cagney Hollywood gangster movies. It wasn't Hollywood that influenced Barksdale. It was what he experienced in real life as a child and later as an adult. Experience had taught him to never let his guard down. He knew the bigger the profits he made, the bigger the risks. Plot after plot unfolded with either Barksdale or his money as key targets.
That motherfucker, right? And we going there, we getting rid of everybody. Nobody can live, you dig?
Right. We gotta kill everybody, man. I'm not having them niggas come back, acting like that.
Cause that nigga a fool, man.
Hold up, you can't just go in there straight killing.
Right.
You can't just go in there straight shooting because they gonna, you feel me? It's gonna be a gunfight.
Right.
Me and her can go in there and distract.
But how many dudes is in there to just distract?
How we go, I don't know how many people in there.
Right.
We just gonna go in there and just go to the bar and get a drink. Right. And we gonna sit back. They're gonna come over and talk to us. They do that all the time.
That's what they do.
Well, how long that's gonna take?
As long as it need to take. We need to get rid of these motherfuckers, right?
Right, but we need to do it fast.
Ain't no fast. If we can't distract them, then what's
we distract? But what's the point of us sitting here drinking with them?
If it takes us an hour to distract them, then that's how long it's gonna take. We need to distract them.
So come on, all right, so check this out. How are we gonna distract?
We're gonna go to the bar and sit down and get a drink.
Right.
We're gonna start talking to them.
Right.
I mean, they kind of rude sometimes. I mean, they're gonna come over and talk to us anyway.
That's how they beat them.
They're gonna,
but we gotta let them in though. So how are we gonna do that?
I'm gonna go use the bathroom.
Right.
Well, what we can do is, we can let you in through the door. They know we dance. Me and Sweetie dance in there, so
they gonna
exchange our clothes.
Right. Or we can just act like we're gonna dance.
All right, so what's the cue when we start popping?
Where's that money, right? They still got the money somewhere, right?
Right.
So we gonna ask them where the money at.
Money,
Can we get some drinks, please?
Can I get a drink?
We just came in here to get a
drink real quick, please.
You get the fuck off me. Come here.
What are you doing?
Shut up. I need you to dance.
I ain't about to fucking dance.
Bitch, you gonna get up there and dance.
You about to dance with my life? Stop.
Get your monkey asses up there and dance. You a funny, baby. You the shit, bitch. Honestly. Come here. Come here. That's what I'm talking about, bitch.
Can
I go change my clothes? Huh? Can I go change? I don't feel comfortable. Can I go change?
Now these ladies convinced their admirers that they could really put on a show if they were just allowed to change clothes. Now check this out. What they didn't know is that Barksdale had the place under surveillance and that his whole crew was on guard in other parts of the club as well. Before returning to the dance floor, the fellas didn't know that they secretly let gunmen into the building through the back door. Now the ladies returned all sexy and dressed up, ready to put on a show. But after a few minutes of teasing and playing around, one woman gave the cue for the gunmen and themselves to go for the money and wipe out all witnesses.
Where the fuck is the money?
The intruders took out the entire group and headed for the exit. They didn't expect another contingent of Barksdale's crew to be waiting outside. The only survivor of the plot escaped death, but not punishment. Torture was sometimes the tool of choice, used against enemies to extract information and to teach them a lesson. In one case documented by news organizations, Barksdale and his crew are accused in a horrific and lengthy torture and attempted murder. They were accused of abducting 3 people who they thought had come to seek revenge for the murder of 2 people. Now, one of those people was allegedly a well-liked retired drug dealer and deal maker named Joe Johnson, better known as Proposition Joe. Now, Proposition Joe was also a likable character who was always making deals on the show The Wire. A hot, burning curling iron and lit cigarettes were used to burn the bodies and the faces of the captured. The apartment was described as a torture chamber. News reporters document the early hours of the crime before all the facts were known.
It was 5:45 this morning when the police were summoned to the Murphy Homes projects. They found a number of people inside one apartment. All had been shot or stabbed. There was blood on the walls. The back room looked like it had been ransacked.
Some people were held in this apartment against their will, at gunpoint, knife point, and after a period of time, apparently they initiated a struggle to escape, and when they did that, that's when all the shooting and stabbing took place.
After the shooting occurred, 2 people were able to get out. One ran to Martin Luther King Boulevard, where he flagged down a police car. Another ran to the 1100 block of Argyle Avenue, where that person knocked on someone's door for help. Police say 3 people, 28-year-old Michael Stokes, 22-year-old Mira Franklin, and her cousin Timothy Franklin, 33, apparently went to the Murphy homes last night where they knew they could buy drugs. All 3 were assaulted and brutally beaten inside the apartment, police think, after something went wrong with the drug deal. Then, early this morning, after all 3 had been held against their will, Stokes apparently went for one of the assailants' guns. That's when all the shooting took place. The 2 suspects in the apartment, one a 16-year-old, the other 25-year-old Nathaniel Barksdale, were injured in the gunfire. Police are with them at the hospital. In West Baltimore, Michael Shockett, News Scene 2.
It was this incident that ended up finally forcing Barksdale off the street. Barksdale and 3 of his lieutenants were arrested at the scene and later charged, including Victor Smith, who refused to snitch. Smith shares more about Barksdale as he refers to other incidents unrelated to the torture case.
He made me do everything I was dead just to get that all out of it. But, I mean, he was cool working with me and shit. He was fair. Well, basically, he taught me the game. You know what I'm saying? Everything I